Hi, I'm Linda, and you're about to watch a video that I did. It's a little different than things I would normally put on my YouTube channel, but many people have been hearing about a company called TEMU that sells lots of stuff that gets shipped from China direct over here and lands on your doorstep in an orange package. And I had been watching a few videos from other crafters who had bought from Temu and watched their unboxings, and they were impressed with the quality of things. So I thought I would check it out. And so what you're about to watch is me unboxing the first 4 shipments. This video is a little long. I'm sorry, I know a lot of people like much shorter videos. I personally like long videos, but you may wish this was 10 minutes long. I just wanted to put a little introduction here first to let you know I'm kind of new at this unboxing thing and video editing. I'm learning. I'm very techy, but it takes a bit to learn the nuances of software and how to edit things properly. So you can feel free to use the controls inside YouTube to fast forward them. If you want to slow me down, they'll slow it down too. But just know you can put it on a faster speed and or jump towards the end. I'm going to do all the unboxing. I give you some of the prices of things I paid for. But mostly at the end, I'm going to follow up with me going through the receipt so you can see how it looks and some closing comments about my experience with Temu. I think I've made perhaps about 8 or 10 purchases at this time. And when I get to the end of the video, I'll tell you like where I'm at. I have more perspective about things than I did when I had these very first 4 shipments. And I'm not entirely sure whether I'm going to purchase much more from them. I do like the quality of things, as you'll see, but I have other thoughts that are affecting my impressions of things, and I'll share that at the end when I go through the receipt. So, but just, it's a little long. Bear with me. I'm new at it. Editing is a skill you develop over time, and you can use the controls at the bottom of the YouTube videos, not just mine, but everybody's, to speed things up and slow them down. And, really do appreciate when people hit that like button. It just is kind of, a nice thank you for me putting out effort and publishing content for people. And if you do like what I have to offer, which is not always an unboxing thing, also subscribe. I'd be doing more videos on how I use the things I bought in Temu, which is mostly craft things. I'm buying craft items for the most part. So, but thanks for watching, and please add some comments down below. Let me know which things that I unbox you'd really like to see me actually use in a craft project. That would be great. So continue watching. Thanks. All right. I am going to unpack these things now and compare what I purchased, what I thought I purchased to, what when I made an order on, to what's actually in the bag. So we've got 3 different deliveries. I thought there would be 4. So we'll have to see if one of them got paired up with the other one. But this is the first package that arrived. Was delivered in my mailbox, and I knew right away that there was something not correct in my mind, and I went back to look at the order, and there is at least one item that I purchased that I did not fully read the description on. So a lot of these pictures are just deceiving. So for one thing, I thought this thing was going to weigh a whole lot more. Because I was expecting to have large bottles of acrylic paint in here. For example, I thought I was ordering something like this. I've purchased these from, I live in New England, and there's a store called Ocean State Job Lot. If you're from New England, you know it. And I bought these at the store, $2.50 for some acrylic paint to do gel press printing, block printing. And I'm thinking I've got, a bottle. I don't know how much these are. 4 ounces. 120 milliliters. Paid $2.50 for them, and I thought, well, on TEMU everything is supposed to be super cheap. So when I saw a bottle that looked like this, I just assumed it was the same as this, and I'd get around 4 ounces. And I purchased like 8 of them, and then this bag shows up, which, according to the tracking number, is the one with it. And there's no way there's 8 bottles of that size in there. So I knew right away that there was something that I didn't read correct, and I went back to the description, and sure enough, it says 1 ounce bottles for like $1.38. So I'm going to open it, and we'll find that that's actually true. And I've got a little measurement thing here too, because I thought that might be good for scale. This is the one item that I can reflect back and go, I did not really read the description for size. I did it on everything else that I can think of, but I got tripped up by thinking of these bottles, and that's what was in my head. And so I didn't read the size. So here they are. They look a lot like it, but in miniature size. So I hope they're good. I have to actually paint with them to know, but they're not going to go very far in block printing because they're tiny tubes. What they remind me of actually is I have a different bottle of Speedball paint. This is gold acrylic paint. Actually, it's water-soluble ink. It's not actually acrylic, but it's Speedball. I bought it in a clearance rack at the art store. And that is actually what it looks like. But this is not acrylic. This is, well, I don't know what it is. It's a water-soluble gold metallic paint. So, but I tell you, you get something that looks a lot alike, and you can get really thrown off and not read your description. And we'll have to see how many more of these incidences I did, but that was like the number one complaint that people had, is that it was smaller than they thought. They didn't read the sizing. So I was trying really hard to, ooh, we've got an explosion. Well, that's not good. So that's everything in that bag. The other thing that's in this is, and this is purely an experiment, but these are resin dye to, I think they sell them to, people use them to make their own nail polish or something. That's what they were advertising. But I wanted to try them as an experiment to see what would happen if I tried to make watercolor paint out of them. It may bomb, but I think I paid like just under $2 for this. And so we'll see. But that actually looks like what I was picturing. That looks as expected. These are definitely smaller than I thought. And we'll see. I don't know. Maybe they'll be as good a quality as the Speedball. But I definitely have a return happening. It's a darn good thing they're individually wrapped, and I didn't end up with paint all over the entire package inside. It's contained inside of the one individual package, so that's good. And probably it exploded in part because there's no padding on these things, and that's a common thing that people have been complaining about. So I paid for this, I paid $1.48 for that, and they called it 6 Bright Neon Colors Nail Art Pigment Powder. But I'm going to see what happens if I make watercolors or some kind of paint out of it. Totally an experiment for $1.38, $1.48. I'm fine with that. These guys that I thought would be like 4 ounces, they were $1.98 each. So if they're the same quality as my Phoenix paint that I bought at Ocean State Job Lot, and they're a fourth the size of it, then that makes them like $8. and I paid $2.50 for this. So I hope they're good. We'll see. So that's one. Now we'll go to the next bag and see what happened in there. Okay, obviously much larger bag. The paints were part of the same order, but they shipped from a different facility. So I got 2 bags. This thing, I should pull out a scale and find out how much it weighs, because that's an awful lot of stuff to stick in here. This thing's heavy. As a matter of fact, I'm going to hit pause. I'm going to go get a scale. We're going to find out how much it weighs. So hang on. I'm going to hit pause for a moment. All right, I am back. A little ingenuity here to figure out how to read the scale when the bag is on it. So I've got a couple of, they're just discs of wood I bought for doing wood burning and Cricut stuff, crafts. So I am going to turn this on the side and let that zero out. So now it's zeroed with that, and we're going to find out. I'll have to read it. You won't be able to see it, but it's almost 8 pounds. So 7 and 12, 13 ounces. So, yep. So that's how much that weighs for a plastic bag, and who knows what's in it. So, anyways, we'll set that off to the side. And we will open it. All right. That's also using SpeedX to ship with this one. Which I had never heard of SpeedX, but on their website, I saw they use a variety of shipping, post office, UPS, and laser ship, which I had an experience with laser ship through Michael's Crafts, and that was a terrible experience. So, all right, so what we have here, I believe, are pads of watercolor paper, which they have individually wrapped. And I'll have to open them, make sure they didn't get bent. And stencils. Aha! This is the item that they gave me a separate tracking code for. This is actually the first thing I ordered, because when I was trying to figure out how to order, which their app is super confusing, with the promotions and all, I ended up placing the order for this, and it was, I also find it very difficult to navigate their, I paid $1.57 for it, to navigate their shipping stuff, just to review this. So there's a lot of things. I know they're a new company, and so apps need work over time, but it's hard to actually read what so I paid $1.48 for it, plus I think there's tax. That's maybe why I keep saying 2 different prices, because there's reading the price and then there's the tax they add on. So it was $1.48 plus tax, $1.57. And I had a separate tracking number for it, but clearly it's been inside here the whole time, which is just odd. Why do that? Why make it confusing? I kept thinking I was supposed to get 4 packages. So anyways, back to what else is in here. I ordered a variety of stencils for doing block printing with these paints. So they look like the way I would be expecting them to be, about the same quality, size, and all of that. Some of them were bigger, some were smaller. There's one I'm not sure what I'm going to get for the size. I believe these are watercolor pads, so I'll open them in a moment. Not everything was crafting in here, but a fair amount was. I also got some of these things for gardening. I'll open them in a second. I'll try to do this category. I got 3 of them. And we'll see what those look like. These are also for the kitchen. They're for caps for wine bottles. And we make our own homemade hard cider and wine. And so they're going to hopefully be quite useful instead of trying to stick the cork back in. But $1.48 for 6 of those. I think that's pretty good. So I don't think I need to explain them further. Not sure what I've got here. We'll have to open up individual bags. Oh, I know what this is. It weighs a bunch. Probably where half the weight is. So these are more stencils, and they look like the way I would expect them. More stencils, and this is interesting because I'll have to go look, but it looks like I got more stencils in there than I thought. Maybe it was a multi-package thing I got. Looks like there's like 8 of them in there or something. I bought a lot of stencils. All right, that one's kind of mangled up. Yeah, that's going to be an issue. And this thing is actually much bigger than I thought. It said it was 12 inches, but I thought maybe the stencil of the design, once repeated 4 times around, would then be a foot across. And I was hoping it was 6 inches, but no, the whole thing is a whole foot. That's actually bigger than I thought, and actually less useful to me because I don't make things on that big a scale. But that's also mangled, so that's going to be in the list of things that needs to be dealt with. So I guess we will be dealing with that. Yeah, those are about the same size. Doesn't look like we manufactured them, got all the pieces cleaned out, but they look like they're cut and I can clean them up. These are they're like oh, I'm having a brain cramp. Paper that you can see through, tracing paper, but in Post-it notes. I'll have to take a look at them closer. I thought they'd be kind of neat for doing crafts where I have to trace things. So it's like tracing paper, but in a Post-it note size. So, and then a lot of people were ordering this nano tape, which I guess is supposed to be like another type of tape that's super popular, but I paid 78 cents for this. And I guess you can stick it on things like the wall or whatever, and then it'll come off. Kind of like those command strips are made where you stick things on and then you can pull them off. And I don't know if it's reusable, but you can, but it's like that. So I don't know. It was 78 cents. I've seen other people doing these TEMU packaging, and they had also bought it. But for 78 cents, I figured I'd try it out. Not sure exactly how I'll use it, but 50 sheets transparent sticky notes. They were $1.40. I mean, they were $1.18 times 4. So, all right. More stencils. I'm just going to try to get all the stencils out. So we have more stencils. Well, that's a whole lot smaller than I was thinking it would be. But that's still pretty. Almost looks like the same thing as this one, but they're different. All right, stencils. Can't quite tell from the picture, but one of them cost $2.48. The other one cost $3.98. I'm going to say this one's probably got 9. It feels slightly thicker than this one. So, yeah. And then this stencil here was $1.48 on its own. This one here was $1.48. And this one here was $1.78. The one with all the mandala tracing things is $2.48. Oh, there might be another thing of stencils in here because there's another package somewhere that has 8 in it. I don't think I pulled that one out yet. Yeah, I went to town on the stencils, didn't I? seahorse was $1.78. I think that's cute. This one here that's smaller than I thought was $1.48. I thought it would be twice that size, but $1.48. The one that's mangled over here, it was $1.61. The little set of leaves was $1.48. That's pretty. I think this is $1.28. It's hard to tell with their picture. $1.28. Oh, this is the other multi-pack one. So one of these cost $2.48, and the other ones were $3.98. So this is probably the $2.48 one because it's a little smaller, I'm guessing. I think that's what it is. So, all right, you got to open that to find out what that is. All these things individually wrapped. All right. So I also got these gadgets for just doing designs for, doing this stuff on the gel plate or block printing. I just make patterns. I also do pottery, although I haven't done it in a while, but I have clay and a potter's wheel. I don't own a kiln, but these can be useful for that as well, for decorating the sides of pots. I also got some paint brushes. Now, Meeden is a brand that you can find on Amazon all the time. So they're fairly large. They're the cat's tongue style. And they're made of horse and squirrel hair, so they're not synthetic. It doesn't look like. Oval brushes, size 4, 8, and 12. But they're for acrylic, squash, and watercolors, how they were marketed. So, and I paid for those, I paid $5.51. So we'll see how well they paint. Let me start moving some things out of view. So now these are all watercolor pads, I believe. But what I also got, because they were pretty inexpensive, there should be 3 sheets of these inside. There's really no tags on these things to tell you what you're looking at. It just gives you a number. I don't know if you can see that. And that it's made in China. I think at this point everybody knows things from TEMU are coming from China. So that's should be 3 sheets of Teflon stuff, which can be used for doing the heat press with the Cricut machine. 3 pieces Teflon film for heat press transfer. I paid $3.98 for the 3 sheets of it. So I have one of them. Pretty sure I got it for a lot more than that, that I bought off Amazon. So yeah, there are 3 in there. I'd have to go get the other one to see if there's a difference in how thick it is, but there are 3 of them in there for just under $4. Add tax, it's over $4. So I don't think it's an issue that it's all folded up. I don't think that matters. I think the other one I have has the same thing. And if I can, and let's go on with the other parts. We'll put that out of the way. These here are just for the house, or maybe crafts, I don't know. I didn't really decide it, but they were waffle material, like a face cloth or a dish towel or something like that, and it's 100% cotton, they said. So, and I thought, I might use them for crafts, I might use them in the kitchen, I don't know. But they were They were $1.68 for each one of them. And I got 2 of them. They feel nice. I think they'll be very absorbent, whether I use them in the kitchen or I do crafts with them. They're very soft. So that's what those are. Then these things are, I don't know what that is yet. We've looked at my tracing paper Post-it notes. Now these are actually, well, I could use them for crafts. Most of it, I tried to stick to craft things, but then I thought, well, some things might just be useful. These are for gardening, because I have a teenager that loves to garden and gets stuff all over the place. I've got dirt everywhere. So they were little mats, and you can snap them together on the corners. I'm not sure that one's supposed to stick over there. And it kind of goes like that. Oh, the other one doesn't want to stick together. That one was having a hard time, but needs a little ironing out, so to speak. But that's so you can put your soil in it. Now this one, I did have to be careful because when I was ordering it, they had 2 sizes, and this was the larger size. The small one, I was like, how would you be able to use that being that small? So these were $1.68 each. I got 3 of them. But they can be used for doing crafts if you've got things that slide around like beadwork or anything where you want to contain it. It's plastic coated, so it's waterproof. It's like, feels like a tarp. And but they were sold for gardening. And so I think that'll be useful. So that's what those are. Now, let's find out what's in this box, because I'm not sure what's in the box. Oh, I think I can guess. I think, because it doesn't look like it's any of the other items. Right, open up the box. I think it might be the little water bucket, I guess you might call it, a detachable silicone art paintbrush cleaning cup. Yeah, that's what it is. For rinsing brushes when you're doing, well, I'm going to try to use it for watercolors, but anything where you have a brush, you need to rinse it out. I know this thing wasn't going to be terribly big, but I paid $7.59 plus tax for it, so, but it goes together. I guess it goes over. This thing fits over it that way, and then this goes on the bottom. So, yeah, we're going to have to see if this thing is going to hold water, because it's not glued together at the bottom, and it might do fine. What I thought was nice about it, and why I kind of like the idea of it, is that you can put your brushes in it this way. Those brushes get a little, and then have them dry with the bristles going downward like that. So probably a different brush would be easier to demonstrate. But you want your brushes to dry downward so the water doesn't get into the ferrule and ruin the glue that's holding it all together. So, but that's why I thought that would be handy. And then I guess you can also stick things in that way if you had to. I don't know. But yeah, so I might not want to just leave it sitting on a table somewhere. I may want to use it, rinse it out, and, you know, collapse it, but not leave it sitting with water. I don't know. Might hold water. We'll have to find out. So, yeah, it's all right. I think it's one of the things I probably spent more on than other things. Now, this here, we're going to go into what is in all of this bubble wrap stuff. So I'm glad that in my area they do lots of plastic recycling, and the local Walmart has a huge recycling bin specifically for plastic bags. So, because Amazon's been moving towards making things more be all paper so they can be recycled that way. This company's got none of that going on. This is a hole punch. It's got a little safety bracket on it, and it can put rivets in things. So I will have to see how well it punches through like chipboard and stuff like that. I was using, I went to a craft class, and the instructor had one by the Memory Keepers company where they do the hole punch and the rivet and the whole thing. It looks much like this, except it had a second hole punch on this side of it. But when I priced it out online, the thing is like a $40 item. Works really well, but I thought, well, let me see what TEMU can do in terms of something being inexpensive. So I'm just trying to find where on this. So this was $11.89. It seems sturdy, and it has a bunch of rivets. So I will play around with that, and I think I'll put it back inside its little bag here just to keep the rivets with it. But seems good, and if it does as good a job as the other one, then it's a quarter the price. So, all right, next. This is, oh, isn't that cute? It's a little tiny thing to hold watercolors, but as I pull that out, if you can see that on the camera, it got crushed. Got a big dent in it from being packed in the bag like that, but it's cute. So that's gonna need to be, that's going in the pile with, you know, definitely like it, but it's in terms of things being damaged, it goes these two and then that crinkled stencil. Otherwise, I don't think anything else has been damaged at this point. So, and in here, oh, those are tiny. Oh, I've never had paint pans palette, you know, for the paint. They're so tiny. I expected this thing to be this small, but I didn't realize those would be that small. So I've seen these on Amazon, and it's got little magnets that hold it together, and you can get like a clip, like you use for office supplies to hold it together, and then these go in here. But they are very tiny. But it's supposed to be a mini palette. So I guess that's fine. At least they sent them to me. I think once in, they're not coming out though. So there is that. So anyways, that's cute. And I believe that I bought 3 of them. I'm pretty sure these are just the same thing. And they were $4.75 each. But they are sold on Amazon for a lot more. So, and they're actually the reason I made the purchase in the first place. I wanted to buy one on Amazon, and then I was looking at them on eBay. I think eBay's price was a little bit better. And then I thought, well, let me go see if this TEMU site has it, because, yeah, that's how because on eBay, it was clear that they were being shipped from China if I ordered them on eBay. And then Amazon had them for more money, but you could get them faster. And I thought, well, if I'm going to save money and I want to get it and I'm going to order it on eBay, but it's coming from China, why don't I have a look at TEMU? And this is actually kind of where this whole project started. So, so there are three. I'm not going to open all of them, but they're cute. I do like them. And they were much less than buying them off Amazon or eBay. So these are definitely all the watercolor pads. Now, this seemed like a pretty good deal. I'm sure Amazon occasionally will match this deal. Well, the seller anyways, but anybody who does watercolors is going to know and recognize this. This is the Academy watercolor paper. And it's 100% cotton. And a lot of people who do watercolor tutorials, which I'm just, kind of a beginner. So, but the ones that, the people I like to follow love this paper. So it was on TEMU, so I bought it. Now the small little pads cost $6.87 for this size, and I got 2 of them. I do want to open these, make sure that they're not like bent, but those at least look flat. And then these are the 10 by 7 size. Those are 7 by 5, 5 by 7. So 5 by 7 and then 10 by 7, slightly different. I think they're picking their measurements based on the millimeters. So that one, these were $11.37 each. And from what I could tell, looking at Amazon, this was a good price for 100% cotton watercolor paper that is the Academy watercolor paper that is already a known quality. So they're not, I probably would try on TEMU anyways, I'd try to go cheaper on 100% cotton paper than this if I didn't know the brand. But this is already a known brand. I don't know if you can see it here. I don't know how to pronounce it. Bahong Academy watercolor paper, which is, I believe, now owned, or maybe always was owned, by Meaden. And that's kind of where you're seeing it sold on Amazon. I don't know if it says anything on here, but they all say Bahong. But I wonder if they changed the company name, and maybe that's why we're getting them cheap, is because they've got to put new covers on them and get rid of the other name because they're now being sold under a different brand name. So I think those were a pretty good price from what I could tell. Not super terrific, but oh, look at that. I just noticed one of them is messed up on the corner. You can see that. It got crushed in, which took out half the pad. There's like 20 sheets in each of these, but that took out half the pad on that. The other ones all seem fine. I don't think anybody else got messed up. Just one. Oh, no, that one's got a ding in it. Not quite as bad as the other, but a ding. All right, well, that's a couple more things. So they're supposed to be very good about doing returns, so I will let you know about how that goes. And then we have just one more package. All right, so this one is primarily not craft supplies. There was something I wanted to buy when I was hunting on Amazon. And then because I had already placed the other purchase, I decided I'd just go ahead and order this too. So what I wanted was some bird feeders, specifically aiming for something that I could use to feed our Baltimore Orioles. do like to eat not just oranges, but they also like grape jelly. And so I just wanted something inexpensive, because otherwise I was like, I'll make it myself. I think I can finagle a grape jelly dispenser. If either TEMU has something cheap enough, I'll buy it. So I don't know how well the Orioles will like these. I hope I like them at least. Now this is the first bag I opened that has an odor. I know cameras can't pick up odors, but this one actually smells funny. So that one is really, I hope it's not broken inside, but that was crammed around the corner. And there are a couple of craft items in here, just a couple. Let's take everything out and then I'll show you what I have. So these here are make sure everything looks okay before pulling it open. They are little caddies. I got two of them side by side, and so you can put craft supplies in them. They can either go this way, or let's try to move things over. They can go this way, or they can go up on the end in this direction. But then you can put like your scissors and your paintbrushes in them. And you know, they have 3 tiers. You can use them for desk organizing, so not a great camera angle, but that's what they are. So they're pretty deep for even holding my paintbrushes in them. So, and I have to pull up the other receipt to tell you what these cost. All right, so these here cost $2.88 each for putting things on your desk for organizing for craft things. I may not leave them on the desk all the time, but when I'm working on something, that could be good. This here, I don't know, for some reason I thought it was a 3-pack, but that's all right. This cost $2.88. I really thought there was more than one. But that's to fill with water and then hang your bird feeder, and they give you a little brush to clean it out. How cute. But that's especially useful for putting this grape jelly out for the Baltimore Orioles, because I'm sure the ants will just love it, but they're supposed to drown in there and not get all over my jelly, so my Baltimore Orioles can enjoy their jelly without ants in the way. Although maybe they don't mind the ants, because you know, birds like to eat insects, a little extra protein. So that's what that is. This is one idea I had for the Orioles. And this thing cost $3.88. It's not broken. Yeah, it looks like it survived. A tray, which I'm going to put jelly in it. I don't know what they were using it for. Sorry for all the crinkling noise, but so if this doesn't do it, it's rather small for putting jelly in. But it actually was the thing when I saw it, that if it didn't really do the trick, then I would take the concept and make my own. I'll get a piece of wood, I'll cut a hole in it, maybe I'll stick the whole grape jelly thing in it and let them have a jar all at once. So, but it's kind of cute. So $3.88. I feel like the craft supplies actually were a better value. I feel like I got a lot for cheap money versus a little bird feeder. I am looking at the receipt, and I think there's one box I have not yet received. So this is another option I came up with. For some reason I thought this was going to be metal. It's a piece of plastic. outdoor tray hanging chain thing. And I paid $6.39 for this. And it's not even metal. I guess it won't rust, or maybe the chain will. But there's a little metal chain. And yeah, so I mean, I can certainly put jelly in that. And that's probably where I'm going to particularly need to use that. So we'll put those together. It'll do the trick. But I also thought it was going to be metal. So, and the last thing, which is another bird feeder. Oh, I should also mention that there were coupons taken off after buying these, so this isn't even accurate for the price. Because I'm like, if I paid that, I didn't pay that much. So this was a little bird feeder that actually gets taller. I'll figure out how to snap it in. So it was a little, whoops, and that falls down. That would startle the birds if it fell down while they were feeding on it. And they have to tape it up to make sure. But I think I can get grape jelly in this. Might make it kind of messy. But I was looking for something that would let the jelly go in and then come out and not have a huge blob. But I think that'll do it. And then they can sit on the little thing. So I don't know, but this thing does collapse down and gets very small. I think they did that more for shipping. Oh, there it goes. It spins in, twists in, and that'll be fine. And then hang that up, and then you can, looks like you can open the top this way to fill it. So, well, if the jelly doesn't work on that, you know, we'll have to scrub it up good and put regular bird seed in it. But that was $8.81. Now, the thing I also was just forgetting is that with all of these things, you know, they have all these promo coupons and everything. So when I bought the two of these, and that I paid $1.39 each for them, then I paid $2.88 for that, and I paid $3.88 for that, and then we've got the plastic tray that I got it for $6.39, and then this one for $8.81. But then they took off a coupon, and the entire thing here of these items, just this part of it, just these, the total that I paid out of pocket was $15.68, 69 cents, 15.69. So like $16 for this amount, because the coupon took off $9. So that's something to keep in mind too. So I'll make another part of this video where you can see me showing the invoices and all of the breakdown, so that can help you look at it. So I don't know. Things definitely are cheaper, relatively, but the quality on some of it is kind of, well, it matches the price tag. I mean, this is just plastic, and I don't think it's very sturdy. This thing's cute, but you know, that's not a real chain. It's a piece of, I don't know, raffia type cord, hemp cord. And then that wasn't even metal. This thing doesn't seem to be too bad a quality. This actually seems to be a better quality compared to the other things. These were okay, you know. These things, I don't think these things were as high a quality. And then, but then you offset it with some of the other things that I think were pretty good, like the watercolor paper. So I will, you know, these are all the things I picked up, and I'll go through and add to the video so you can see what things cost, the discounts, and then, you know, other closing comments that I have on this. So, and at some point I'll do another video and tell you how I made out making paint out of this stuff. So, all right, so that's the end of this part, but stay tuned so I can show you the next part. All right, I'm back with one more package. There were 4 packages that I ordered, but when I was doing the recording the other day, I realized in the middle of it I was missing one, and that's because the 4th package hadn't yet arrived. So this is a different day, but I'm just adding this on. So this completes what I ordered from TEMU. And so I'm going to go ahead and open it here, and we'll see how everything fared. And we'll open it here and tear back the opening. So what these are, which are not craft items, although I'll probably find some way to purpose it that way because I look at everything like it could be a craft item. But they're little, they're supposed to be biodegradable, little bags that you put soil in and do seed starting. And there's like 100 in each, so like 200 of them, because we like to do gardening. So that's what those are. I guess they look fine. So we'll set them aside. This here, we'll see how well this writes, was a pencil, I should say pencil, that looks a lot like a Stadler pencil, but this is a knockoff brand. And it came with a bunch of colored pencil leads that you can put in it. So I thought I'd give that a try. I have a Stadler that looks just like this. I don't know if I'm pronouncing Stadler right. Sorry if I'm not. And so I already own one, and I could tell this is weighted differently, but it has some weight to it. So we'll see how it goes. But it made it fine, and it has a cute little felt bag. The felt's actually sturdy. So looks good. Looks good. I'll have to go look at the receipt, see what that cost. This is because I like to do block printing, and I have a linoleum and that pink stuff that looks like a rubber eraser, but it's for carving. But I also have like the traditional old-fashioned linoleum. But I can't figure out where my carving tools are. They have disappeared, so I ordered some on TEMU to see, just so I could get back to carving things and see how good they were. It looks a little like the name brand one, but again, it's a knockoff brand. It didn't cost very much. I think it was around $4. I gotta look at the receipt to know what these are. And I didn't queue up the receipt when I did this today, so I'll have to go into the receipt as a separate part. This, I have no idea if this is going to be any good, but it's a little miniature, for craft purposes, drill. It has little teeny tiny drill bits. One of them is super tiny. I don't know if you can see the tiny one right there. Yeah, there you go. I don't know how many, and the handle that they go into for doing small crafts. We'll see if it's any good. So I think it was like $2. It was one of these things I put in the shopping cart and then I didn't check out, so they kept trying to prompt me to place an order. So they dropped the price on this. So I think I paid around $2 for it, but it had been more. And I thought, well, what I really need is a carving set. And you know, of course, they suck you into having at least $10 of things to buy, which, you know, it's $10. It's not that much money. But sometimes you're sitting there with like, I don't need more stuff, or you're just getting a lot of things just to fill a shopping cart. So I will get to the part in this video where I share what I really feel about TEMU. I'll try to be polite and all, you know. But there are things about TEMU that I find frustrating. I really do prefer the experience on Amazon. These should be brushes. So I gotta open them up to have a look at them. But, I mean, I'm good with the quality. I'm just having some issues with just the whole experience. But they're Japanese style brushes, the big ends on them. So they look pretty good. I won't know till I get the sizing off them and try to, I don't actually know how to do Japanese painting, but I like to experiment with things and that kind of thing. But I know a bit about brushes in general, but not this type. So, but they look pretty good. They weren't very expensive either. Mostly this last order was in part prompted because I can't find my carving tools, and I didn't want to buy more carving tools on Amazon. Anyways, I'm sure they'll show up in the house at some point, and I didn't want to buy another set of something I already have, and I don't have this style, which seems odd because this is the traditional one. So I really kind of placed this fourth order to get these. I even signed up for a woodblock carving class that's happening this week. Although they're providing supplies, but I know I wanted to do more once I get the class taken. So that's what really prompted it. And then the brushes weren't very expensive. And then this, you know, Stadler type pencil knockoff with all the pretty colored leads, and then gardening things. And that's how I came up with something around $10 for these items here. So trying to order things on TEMU that I actually want, will use, are useful. Oh, and this thing I forgot too, and that too. So these all made something around $10 roughly. But let me end this part of the video, and then I will get to going over receipts and pricing and stuff. But nothing in this order looks damaged, looks all like it's in fine quality. It actually looks decent quality for the cheap prices. So I know by watching other people's TEMU videos, they've been impressed with the quality, or at least, you know, weren't disappointed. Might be like, well, it's good enough for the price, or impressed. And I match that. I feel like some of these things are better quality than I thought, or at least what I was expecting. I didn't open anything that I thought was very disappointing in its quality. There were the paints that were smaller in size than I thought, so there is a size thing, but that's different than whether the paint itself was a good quality. So the real test will be when I go to actually use all these things for doing crafts and gardening too. But I'm sure I'll find a craft use for some of these too, because I often do that. So anyways, I'm gonna end this video, and then I'll switch over to looking at things in the online view with receipts and all of that. All right. Okay, we're now over on TEMU's website, and today is July 8th, 2023, so this is what the page looked like on the front. And while I'm recording this, there'll be a couple points where I'm going to hit pause as I change screens, scroll personal information out of the way so I don't have to do too much editing after I record this. So bear with me here. But most of the things that I want to show you, I looked ahead, and I don't think there's anything major personal stuff that'll show up in the recording here. So when you're watching it, there may be a few places where you see things blurred out that I edit afterwards. But anyway, so I have counted that I have made 12 purchases on TEMU since my first purchase back at the in May, I think it was. And so let me just show you what I've purchased and talk about the website. Well, the first thing I do want to say about the website, versus the app on your phone is that the website is way easier to navigate than the app on your phone. However, TEMU is constantly trying to get you to use your cell phone instead of being on the browser, because they know that people play video games on their cell phones, and people are much more impulsive when they make purchases off a phone. And a lot of times the promotions are trying to push you to use your phone. So this is something I've noticed over and over again, and it makes me annoyed that some things I can only access a promo if I'm on the phone. I also have noticed, and I'm really curious to know if anybody else has noticed this, but if you launch the TEMU app on your cell phone and you don't shut the app, like completely close it. I have an iPhone, so that would be swiping up or over to the left, dragging over, and then flipping it up. That's like closed. If I don't do that, it drains my battery. Why the TEMU app is draining my cell phone's battery? This is a brand new phone. I just got it in February. Brand new iPhone 13. I think I have a 13. But it's draining my brand new battery. But only if I leave the TEMU app open. If I swipe up and shut it, it stops happening, and I don't notice it with other apps. So I don't know. I'm curious to know if anybody else has had that and has any idea why. So get in the habit of completely shutting your app if you're using it on the phone. The website, I have my browser set to clear cookies and cache and everything related to TEMU every time I close the tab. I do that with a number of sites anyway. So just some observations, but let's go into this. So this is their homepage where they've got all the things that they've got on their homepage that they're promoting. And I do notice that they do have some kind of algorithm going on here where they're presenting things I'm mostly interested in, mixed in with other things, but I've almost completely been just looking at craft stuff. The whole purpose of me even purchasing from TEMU is to get deals for craft items, which then I would like to use and record myself using for craft tutorials. So that's my intention. I will be making videos involving these products I'm purchasing, at least the craft ones. I did buy a few things that weren't craft, that were for like the kitchen, that kind of thing. So this is their homepage as of today's date. And but let's go in. We're going to go to my account and go to my orders. So this kind of navigation is really difficult on the cell phone app, but we're going to go to orders. And it's going to load. And so I may blur out like my order numbers here just because this is public on the internet, but other than that, this page doesn't show anything. So you'll probably see some blurring from my editing, but I've made 12 purchases. If I scroll all the way down and load more, I can tell you when I made the first purchase. So the first one was purchased on May 19th. And that was one of the items I had in the unboxing that you hopefully just watched, but you may have jumped to this point and just want to see the end part. And that's fine. I encourage you to look at the unboxing if you didn't, because I'd like to know what you'd like me to actually demo as a craft tutorial as well. I do have one craft tutorial that's queued up to release right after this, where I use some of the watercolor paper and the paintbrushes. But I'd like to know what else you would like, and you're going to see what else I ordered here. For the most part, I'm not going to go into every single order, but if you see me scroll past something and you want a tutorial so you can see how I was going to use it, please put that in the comments below. That would be fantastic. So this one here was the first thing I ordered, and I paid $1.57 for it, and it had free shipping and the whole 9 yards. So it was $1.57. There were two of them that came in that. And And then I also unboxed the paint where I had, I think, 7 tubes of paint. One of them exploded in the packaging, but was self-contained because it was individually wrapped in a little plastic bag. I did request a refund on that, as well as the stencil that got folded up before they stuck it in the bag and then put more stuff on it and basically crinkled it to an unusable state. So I did request a refund on that. That was very confusing because at first it seemed like I was going to have to bring it to a UPS store, like the UPS store, the actual store, not like just a UPS drop-off location, but the UPS store. The closest one to me, there are 2 of them that are equal distance, but they're both 40 minutes from me, so I was very confused. It also seemed that like maybe I could bring it to the post office. I wasn't sure, but I decided I would ask to return them. But it turned out that after, in the end, once I hit the return thing and all of that, it told me I didn't need to return them, that I could do whatever I want. It says it issued me a refund for the 2 items you requested to return. There's no need to return the items. They're very clear that I don't need to return them, and that no label will be provided. And it says I can do whatever I want with them. I can donate them, throw them in the trash. I could even use them. They don't care. So that was quite nice, that I didn't have to do any action on that. I don't know under what circumstances they do require you to actually ship things back to them. I think it's going to depend on how much the item or items, plural, cost, and whether that is worth them getting it back, putting it in a warehouse, how much they think they can turn around and resell it. I'm supposing if it's damaged, they probably don't want it back because then they've got to dispose of it. You have to submit a photograph with every single item that you return. So that is a requirement. You can't just say, I want to return it and not submit a photo. But it's not too hard to take a picture with your phone and upload it there. So this was in the box that I unpacked along with like other items here. And oops, I'm going to have to edit that because I didn't intend to go into it. Let me scroll back. So, okay, some editing there. All right, so we edited out my personal information there that I didn't actually mean to go into the order the way I did. So these were things I unboxed and talked about. I'd really like to make a demo of that, see what happens. It was my experimental, it's nail art pigment powder, but I want to see what happens if I make it into like watercolors. It might not work. It's an experiment for $1.48. But these items here, when I add them up, I went down the list and added them up, making sure that I caught whether it was ×1 or ×2 or 3, because that's the price per item. And then so when I get down here, and I think I gave all the prices of these while I was doing the unboxing, at least for this order. So you get down, this was the biggest order of them all. And so that all of those things, including this one for 75 ×3, that does add up to $150,264. Totally disregard this $404.85 and -$250. It's kind of like going to Kohl's and everything's always discounted at Kohl's, and they tell you won all this, you not won, that you have saved all of this money and but nobody ever pays that amount. So this is the number here that I highlighted in blue. That is the total for my order. This order had a coupon of $30 off, and everything's always had free shipping, always. I do live in Massachusetts. TEMU is headquartered in Boston, here in Massachusetts, so I don't know if everybody always gets charged sales tax. Probably they do, but I know for certain, since I'm in Massachusetts, they're in Massachusetts, they have to charge sales tax. Sales tax in Massachusetts is 6.25%. They keep giving me a couple cents off credit. I haven't quite figured that one out even at this point. And so that was my total. disregard how much I saved because it's like the Kohl's concept here. And then they told me I got this $120 coupon bundle. For the rolled, I never could figure that out. These coupon bundles make no sense to me at all. Even 12 orders later, I still don't get what the coupon bundles are. It's almost like you get issued some coupon bundles, but then you have like 48 hours to use them. Like, you just made a purchase, so why are you going to make another purchase to use a coupon, of which the coupons are only good if you spend like $50 or more? Everything on this TEMU site is geared up to make you spend money, spend. It's overwhelming, in my opinion. So I did finally figure out they have a price guarantee for 30 days. So if you make sure you go back to your receipt, your order online within the 30 days from the date you made your purchase, not the date it shows up in your doorstep, but the date you made your purchase, you can request a price adjustment. And so I've kind of figured some of that out. This actually was the refund for $306, but you'll see on some of them, I went back. Who knows if I could have on this because I didn't figure it out in time. This order, when did I place this order? I forget when I placed the order. I paid on the 19th, so I hadn't figured this out. So I got some refund money, which I had them just give me a store credit for it. And then, but there was some price adjustment, but I missed out on this order because I didn't know I could do that until last week. I think I figured that one out. So anyways, so let's back out of this order. And I'll show you a couple others. So this was another one that I unboxed. And that's the one we just looked at. So this is the other one we unboxed. So that bigger order, well, I showed you that. So that was, we've done that one and that one. And then I had this one. So I'm going to hit pause while I open this order up so I don't have to edit too much. Okay, so now I'm in the order. And so I got 2 of those for $1.39. This thing that hangs between a hook and a bird feeder. And that was $2.88. And then we had the 3 bird feeders, which in my estimation, given the quality of all the craft supplies, the bird feeders weren't that great a deal. I think the craft supplies are very good quality. This hook was very good quality, but I was not impressed with the bird feeders. I haven't asked to do a return on any of them. You're allowed to request a return one time per order. If you try to request a refund a second time on the same order that you've already done a refund on, then like they charge you. But I don't know what that process looks like because I haven't tried it. I wish I had known about the price adjustment thing on things before this one expired, which is May 21st, because these storage holders actually dropped in price down below $1. I don't know if the bird feeders did or not, but I missed out on getting some credit. So do keep an eye on price adjustments. You have up to 30 days since your purchase time to get them. And they even let you request a price adjustment even if your package hasn't yet shown up. It's still in transit. So it just, you have to do it within the 30 days from your purchase date. So there's nothing to particularly show on this, although with the bird feeders kind of lightens the disappointment knowing I got $9 off, and in the end I paid a total of $15.69 and got these items. So that's can't complain too much. So all right, so I'm going to back out again, let it reload, and then I'll give you a peek at some of the other things I also bought. So I'm going to hit pause and open the next one. All right, this is another order that I did record an unboxing for, but I didn't include it in this video because it just seemed like I had too much footage. Or did I include it? Actually, I think I do have this one at the end. I'm sorry, I'm adding this thing later. Then I did all the other recordings. So this is, probably like 2 weeks later. I'm going to finally get to finish off this video. So maybe this is in there. There is another one that I did unbox, and I didn't put it in here just because this video is getting too long. And if you would like me to post it, I will. But so this here, I had the carving tool. Yeah, this is in the video. I do remember editing some of this out here. So, and showing you the little tiny, teensy weensy little drill bit thing. So, I still want to figure out what to do with a craft item for these biodegradable seed nursery bags. They're going to be handy for gardening, but they're kind of almost a gauzy mesh material, and must be a craft item I can do with them. And I'm thinking also, although this almost like a Stedler pencil with leads is kind of, as I've been kind of looking at it more and thinking about how I want to demo it, I'm like, it's a little unpractical, because in order to change out the colors of the pencil leads, you gotta like unload the pencil and put the next color in. So it's not very practical. It cost me $6.36. I haven't yet tested it out, but just kind of like looking at it a little closer after the recording, I'm like, this is not exactly practical for the purposes of changing colored leads around. It'd be better to have a whole set of colored pencils if I was going to color in like a coloring book or something, or do drawing with colored pencils. This carving set is probably pretty good. I haven't tested it out yet, but unlike the Speedball carving knife, there's no way to, the Speedball, you can unscrew the top and then store your knife's blades inside the handle, and this one you can't do that with. So, but I think it'll probably work fine. It looks fine, but that's just kind of would rather have one of the Speedball ones. But this was $5.50. You'll find I round things up to the nearest upper 10 cents. So $4.50, whereas a Speedball one probably costs like $10. So, but so I they keep saying that the free shipping will end in so many days or hours, and everything I've ordered has always had free shipping. You are required to pay at least $10 or you can't complete your order, but the shipping's always free. Maybe if you really want to buy something under $10, they make you pay shipping, but well, then your order will be over $10, so why not just add something to it? Which is kind of where you get to be forced to keep buying more and more stuff. Again, on this one, it said I got a $62 coupon bundle. I can't, I go in to look at coupons later when I want to make another purchase, and it says they all expired, and I've ordered 12 times since May. It's now early July. It's the 8th of July, and I've been ordering since the 19th of May, so it's like been 6 weeks, 12 orders, and I can't access these coupons, so I'm thinking they expire in like 24, 48 hours. Why would you want to purchase something again immediately, just to use your coupon, like for the sole reason of using a coupon? So anyways, let's back out of this one and go into the next one. I'm just going to hit pause while I do this. All right, this is the next order here, where I did order some things that weren't necessarily craft items. Our family loves cats. We have 3 cats, so very attracted to cat items. So a little almost like polyester material bag that had, cute, adorable cartoon cats all over it, and a zippered thing for like travel or something. I ordered 3 t-shirts with cats on them. And this one is the one that I have the unboxing for, but is not included. And I know that because I recorded it and actually showed you like the t-shirts up close and how they're made. And they actually are made pretty good. I've sent this one through the wash. and the color is still on it, so it didn't wash out with the color. I haven't sent this one through the wash yet, but yeah, it was fine. This one I actually requested a refund. It was bigger than I thought. It said that it was size 14, which I thought, well, I'll use it as a nightshirt. You know, sometimes things come from China are sized really weird, and something that they call a 1XL will look like a women's size medium. You know, like the weird sizes with Chinese things. These are actually coming in true to size as if it was a US sized thing. So I'm not seeing that weird sizing thing with these items. But this was a little bit bigger, and my teenager didn't really care for it. And so I thought, well, I'll return it for $6. But again, they issued me $6 refund and told me to keep it. I could donate it if I want or whatever. So maybe it will be a nightshirt. Don't know. It wasn't all that fantastic, but I did like the other two more. I had some needles on it, really cheap little thimble, and I had a metallic pen in that order, which I did a little writing with, writes nicely. Little craft cutting tools for like cutting out stencils or doing Cricut stuff with. Some very strange looking pencils. You know, if you want the unboxing on that, and I could show them in a tutorial. These partially refunded is because this order had not reached its 30 days, and these things had dropped in price, so they issued me price adjustments. I think they gave me like a penny back on each of these. But some of the things they price adjust, I got a lot more back for. This order had a whole bunch of stuff in it, and so I did get some refunds. Mostly I was placing this order for this pad of paper. This was a 10 by 7 Bahong, which is also goes under the Meaden brand name too. 100% cotton paper, and I have a video I'm going to post soon where I actually, test drive this paper. And one of my friends can't wait for me to post it because she's dying to see this video. But anyways, I've become enamored with this paper, and so I had it in my shopping cart, and I hadn't checked out, and it was like 2 weeks later, and they issued me a deal where they dropped the price down to $1.94. This is like somewhere between $11 and $13 that they're normally selling it for that 10 by 7 size. But they gave me like 90% off, and I'm like, for $2, yeah, I'll check out and come up with like $8 more stuff. Of course, I came up with more things than that. A lot of these things were sitting in my wish list, particularly this tote bag that I really wanted to get to put to use as a tote bag for putting my watercolor supplies in, and it's a rather nice bag. I've got it with a bunch of stuff in it now, so. But I ended up, that was one of the more expensive things because I was 15, but I ended up spending $50 here, free shipping again, but I didn't get any coupons. I couldn't activate any coupons, but on the other hand, they gave you like 90% off on this thing, and I paid $2 for it. So, and I've had some partial refund and the t-shirt that I returned, so I got a credit of, $7.69. So, that one's that. So this is the video I'm going to post where I test drive this paper. Also the brushes that I unboxed earlier in this video that I'm posting. And some watercolors that I got on Amazon. So that's going to be coming up soon. Let me switch to the next order. I'll hit pause and resume. Alright, this is the next one. Again, on this order, they did some major discount thing on something in my wish list / shopping cart, and I decided I'd check out and get that, but it didn't come quite to $10, so I added another item. This one's a desk organizer for organizing all these craft supplies, which comes collapsed. It's still in a box. I have to assemble it, but it goes together kind of like, I've seen these before. Other people have gotten them. I've seen them even, I think even Michael's Crafts has them. So it goes together kind of like putting a 3D puzzle together. But it comes flat in a box, compact. But I also got a pressure stamp tool so that when I'm doing stamping and doing all the stencils that I bought, and also working with my jelly press that I have for doing mixed media stamp printing, I added that on for like $2. So and then they gave me a penny back. I think it was. That's what it was. I got 1 cent back because this thing dropped by 1 penny. But hey, I'll take it. Pile up the pennies. Get enough pennies there, you can get a couple dollars. So, but that's what's in that order. So that one came to just over $10 because of course there's a tax that has to be added on. So let me hit pause. Move to the next one. All right. Now we're in the next order, and do let me know down in the comments if you're seeing something and you want a closer look at it. You want me to demo it as a craft tutorial or, whatever, just let me know. This order had these coloring books in it that were $1.48, and they caught my attention because some of them are by, I think her name is Johanna Botsford, very famous artist who makes coloring books and stuff. And I've even gone back to looking at these listings, and it is not apparent. And a lot of people are making comments in their reviews. These are little coloring books. They're like, maybe 5 inches square, something like that. 6 inches. They're not very big, and they only have like eight sheets of coloring in them. They're little pamphlets. I mean, I guess they're worth $1.48, but they are not like the coloring books you see at the craft store you would go find on Amazon. These are more like little pamphlets of coloring pictures, so they're not very big at all. So that was rather disappointing. I did not record this when I was unboxing it. At this point, I'm just unpacking things when they come. But if you would like more unboxings, if you love watching these things, let me know. I will record any future ones, whether it's TEMU, although I still have to get to whether I'm going to order from TEMU again, or Amazon, or the bag I bring home from Michael's Crafts, like I was just there today getting stuff at Michael's, or my Ocean State craft supplies. I love Ocean State. If you live in New England, you know what Ocean State is, and know their craft department, and their food department, and their chocolate aisle too. But that's Ocean State. So, speaking of chocolate, though, the one thing TEMU does not seem to sell at all is any food items, chocolate, pasta, any of that kind of stuff. They do not sell food on TEMU. Probably because who wants to order stuff that you're going to actually eat, and it's being shipped all the way from China. So I guess that's probably why. But yeah, so just as a note on that. But I ordered some other things. These are, I don't know, they were $1.78, and there are 3 for $1.78. I'm just anticipating at some point I'm going to need to convert a USB-C over to a standard USB input for these, electronics, because more and more USB-C seems to be the way things are going. And I only have a few ports that way, and most of my stuff is a standard USB. So I get them for $1.78. There's 3. Hopefully they'll come in handy, because I don't own any of that, but I figured for $1.78. So, and just some other things. This was a good deal. It's one of the places where I've been using some of their offers is to buy epoxy resin, because I've noticed that in Michael's and on Amazon that stuff is expensive. It's not the UV one. The UV epoxy resins are supposed to be a lot better, but they're also significantly more expensive. So this is the standard kind where you mix 2 together to get them to set. But I've been looking for the 8 ounces of each. So 8 ounces of one and 8 ounces of the other. And then I've done it twice and got them to be right under $9 each. So that seems like a good deal. And then again, watercolor paper. I think they have my number on this paper because it's one thing that they keep trying to encourage me to go purchase. But I think I've got enough of it because wait till you see the order coming up on this. So, but this was 12 inches by 9, which is your kind of standard watercolor paper, 9 by 12. 20 sheets for $18 and some change. This paper is phenomenal. So I've become enamored with this paper. But I got to do a lot more watercoloring. All right, let's go into the next one. All right, this is just one item on here. I didn't need to add anything. More of the paper. This time is 15 inches by 10 inches. And this is a way lower price than Amazon sells it for. And I had a discount of something. They were doing some promotion, so I got $5 off. Or maybe that was me using some of my refund money. I'm not sure right now, but I got $5 off. So then I paid $21.68. However, I did a price adjustment on it because the price had come down. They still honored my discount, so they only looked at the original price, this $25.49, and looked at that to the new price adjustment and then refunded me. So this all stayed intact. So I got $2.18 back for the price adjustment. So I guess in the end this thing actually cost me something close to $19. So that was a good deal. I also want to just point out, since there's just one thing on here, I just wanted to make a comment that tracking is super easy with TEMU. You can just follow tracking and you can ask it to send you email and text if you want updates on your products tracking, and they do a very good job at keeping you updated with where your package is along the way. At this point, I think I've done 12 orders. Not a single one of them has arrived late. Which with their guarantee, I would be fine if they wanted to deliver it late, because you get like $5 as a sorry, we delivered it late, bonus thing. But they haven't issued me that because everything's arrived totally within time. I think one item came on the last day of that window, but everything else was, well within the window of delivery time. I think one of them arrived early even. So, but tracking's super easy. They're using some unusual shipping methods, like laser ship, and I keep forgetting what the other one's called. But they do use the post office for some of it. Sometimes it starts out with UPS and then it gets transferred over to the post office. That's usually a thing between UPS and the post office, though. And so I've had all manner of delivery. The only people not delivering to my door, the TEMU Products, of course, is the Amazon Prime truck. But everybody else seems to be delivering stuff for TEMU. So, all right, hit pause and we'll switch. Okay, I think we got just 2 left. This was some more Bahong organ book, so it's put together in a book, like a journal, but it's an accordion. I haven't taken the cellophane off it to check it out, and I think it's the cotton paper, because that's the only kind of paper I think they make is the 100% cotton, but I haven't verified that, and nowhere in the description, unless they've updated the description recently, nowhere in the description does it actually tell you whether or not it's the same paper that everything else is. So, but I got that, and this face paint actually is another experiment. I want to see about using the face paint that's sold for doing like Halloween costumes and stuff, and see if I can use it for doing the stencils on paper. And these are the little finger blotters that I'll use to transfer it. And then I got nothing watercolor paper. So that's what I did there, and we'll go to the next one. All right. I thought I had one more, but I have two more. This is the Bahang watercolor paper that's sold in a roll. I don't even think you can order this on Amazon. It is a long roll of almost 400 inches. It's a little over 10 inches wide. And I went ahead and ordered this thing. And I figured I can cut it to any size I want. But even if I cut it into like 10 by 7s, it came out a little bit cheaper than buying enough pads of paper to equal that. So I went ahead and ordered that. I'll be watching to see if there's a price adjustment on that. I just recently got that. Oh, no, I already did that. So there's already been a price adjustment, so I got $3.55 off of it. So yeah, so that came down to probably $30 before they added tax and all that. So there is one more to go, and then I will wrap up looking at receipts, and I'll do some closing comments. All right, I don't know why I keep thinking there's just one more. Actually, there's one more after this one. Real quick, this one, more watercolor paper. Here's the other epoxy. Again, right around $9. Same 8 ounce for each of them. Had all sorts of, extra little things in there. And I've got with this Bahang paper, or Meeden, depending on which way it shows up. Same company, 2 names. I now have a coarse grain or rough. I have the standard cold press or medium grain, and then I have the fine grain or hot press. I have one of each in the 7x5. I want to do a side-by-side comparison using the same brand, but the 3 types of watercolor paper, and they're all 100% cotton. And then this was a ruler that was rather kind of nifty. It folds and lets you do things that are circular or make lines. It folds up. It's rather kind of fascinating. The only thing, and I totally understand why, there's no imperial system on this. This is strictly a metric measurements with your centimeters and millimeters. There's no imperial inches on it. But was it the United States is the only country that uses the imperial system? Really, in my opinion, we need to get rid of it. I'm not used to using this metric system, but it actually is more logical. I'd like us to get used to it. Although I want to hold on to our Fahrenheit. I don't like Celsius. I like Fahrenheit, but I'd be fine with us switching to metric in every other way. But this is a really nifty ruler. I'm going to be using that. It was kind of cool looking at it. Maybe I'll do a demo with that one. All right, one more, and I promise the next one is the last one. All right, last order. Again, watercolor paper, the 10x7. Got the price down to $8.50. Just super good for that 10x7 price. Probably had a discount or something on it. But I also grabbed another ruler, which I've seen in Michael's Crafts. It's been curious, but this one I could get it off TEMU for $2.48. It probably, oh no, it actually says Imperial right on it. So I was thinking, as I was looking at the other ruler, it's probably metric only, but it actually says metric and Imperial inside the description. This is the one package that has not yet arrived. It's slated to arrive sometime between Monday and Friday of this upcoming week. But these are the last 2 items that I have, and then that's it. Nothing else is in the pipeline, but I bought both of these. Again, free shipping, and paid just over $10 for it. So, all right. So I do want to go into my wish list, which I've pre-checked. Shouldn't be anything personal in there that'll show up. All of my personal information only gets displayed on the orders themselves, which is why I keep pausing. And then there's order numbers. So I have some things in the shopping cart. But the shopping cart and the wish list look almost like one big long list. This is where the wish list starts. I have like 63 items in it. and this is the shopping cart up here, and you can almost barely tell that they're different. It's not the same as on Amazon. Perhaps when they get a little more time under their belt, I mean, they did launch just last December, maybe they'll make website improvements and hopefully updates to the phone app. I don't think some of their strategies are going away, because I think that's part of their whole marketing thing, but maybe at least as far as navigation, things will improve. But the way to get things in your wish list is when you're looking at an item, you can put a little heart on it. That will put it both in your wish list, but it also mark it as something that's going to be in your checkout and activated for purchase. So then you have to come in here and you have to uncheck it. Like if I check this, it'll put a check. So if you put something in a wish list while you're looking at the item, it will check it and then it adds it to your total. And you have to be mindful of that, because if your wish list is long, it's adding it to the bottom. You might not know it's there, and then you're trying to figure out why your order is more than you think. So anytime you add stuff to a wish list, it's also putting it in your cart. But the way you can get things when you actually say you want it in the shopping cart, to get it from the shopping cart to the wish list, is first you have to untick this so it's not selected. Say you want to delete it, and that's when it asks if you want to move it to your wish list. It almost seems like you're going to delete the thing, but that's how you get it over to the wish list. So right now, I have nothing in my cart, and I've got all these items in a wish list. Some of them I stick in here that, like, if I do put another order in and I need to add something that's like $2, or, you know, like, and maybe I want another one of these stamp pressure tools for doing my stencil stuff. That's a $2 item, so if I need to bump up something to just get over the $10 mark, it's nice to have some things queued up in the wish list. I also put all this paper in the wish list so that I can take a look at the prices and see if anything's got a really fantastic deal that I want to take advantage of. Right now I have so much of this watercolor paper, totally enamored with it, but I think I've got so much of it. I need to do more tutorials and use up a lot of paper. So, but I think they know that I've been watching this paper because it's full of my wish list. So that's how they pull me in. I'm sure at some point then this order will get delivered this week and there'll be nothing in my pipeline. I'm bound to get a coupon trying to get me to buy something, and since the watercolor paper has been in every order, that's probably going to be what it is. If you keep scrolling past all your wish list items, they will immediately funnel you down into more items that they're think you might like here's another cat t-shirt, more paper, but it'll get mixed in with other things that aren't related to my orders. I ordered that, and so they're trying to see if I want to order something again. There's another bird feeder, different things, plus mixed in with other items. So they have solutions to problems I didn't even know I had the problem till I saw the solution, which is really crazy because, some of the things I'm like, oh, I didn't know I could solve the problem. Oh, I didn't even know it was actually a problem. Now I have a problem. So, yeah, the amount of inventions sold on here is very crazy. These things look interesting. Wooden mason can lids. Those probably look really good. They're probably good quality, but I don't know. I never was thinking about getting lids for my mason jars. I like to use my mason jars as jars to rinse my watercolor brushes in and other things that get stored in them. So, but yeah. So, just some closing thoughts on this is I don't like the constant push to buy stuff over and over and over again. It's like it's really on steroids. I don't like the push to constantly use your cell phone to make your purchases. Some coupons you can't access unless you go through the phone app, and I don't like that because I'm not somebody who plays video games on my phone, and the whole thing gets very gamified. You go to click on one of these. I don't know if I can get it to do it from the browser, I want to show you what this looks like. I may have to edit something here. Let me put this on pause, and then I'm going to find one if I can, and then I'll come back. All right, I haven't found yet these promotions, but they're here. But this is different. I just want to show you this. This is one of those value back coupon bundle things that is like, I don't get it. So you have to place an order, and that order has to be more than $50 in order to unlock a coupon bundle. The coupon bundle you only get after you've placed your order and it's in processing for that $50. And then you're issued coupons that are this 100% value. You get 3 coupons, but then the coupons can only be used if you spend $50 or more. They're tiered, and then it says credit issued once to you once that order is shipped. It's extremely confusing. If you're looking at these, coupon bundle promotions, please disregard them, because I have a feeling you'll just spend more money on things you probably really don't need, but you're trying to get to that $50 mark, or then they want you to get to 100, and then it's 150, and in the end you never can really figure out how to get to the coupons. If you manage to get them, just think of it as like a bonus, but don't try to aim for unlocking these things. So, all right, let me go find this other thing that like gamifies and looks like a video game. Okay, it actually was just sitting right here. Down in the corner, it has messages, and it said 5, so I just clicked that. It comes up. I don't have any other messages under orders and credit balance, but here are the promotions. So there's all these things, and they jiggle and twirl and flash and bright colors, and and then there's all these telling you we're sorry, it's going to end tomorrow. Or I get a lot of emails that say, oh, we're so sorry to tell you that your product that you have in your wish list is almost sold out. Or I don't know. It just then you have these scrolling things. A lot of them look like you're going to win the lottery, like jackpot, like you're in a casino. Here, we'll hit on this one, see if I get anywhere with it. So super savings, scan the QR code. See here, scan it with your phone to enjoy the discount. I can't even tell you what this discount is unless I pick up my cell phone and access it that way. I can't do this through a browser. I don't like this behavior. It drives me nuts. I'm not one who likes to use my phone that way. I mean, I know a lot of you guys watching this probably are on your phone all the time. This is not my style. This looks like a great deal, but I bet it's the small paper here, and it has nothing to do with this thing. But they do know I bought this, I bought that, and I've bought that. Maybe they think I'm interested in those things. Maybe that. Here's paper. So they are trying to entice me to go get my phone and use it, because perhaps one of these but when you get to it, it's usually none of these items that it has anything to do with. But that's an example of them wanting to get me on my phone. If you go on your phone, you're more likely to impulse buy. Trust me, because it's part of why these 12 items. I mean, some of them I'm sitting here going, I know the strategy, and I got sucked in anyways. I will tell you, I got sucked in, and I can see at least part of the psychology of this going on here. But yeah, now I don't know how to get back. I guess if I hit back, we'll get to that. Then we can get to the messages. I can't always get to the messages. The routing of things is crazy. Here's another one. You're really a 10. Congratulations, you're really a 10. We picked a surprise gift for you. View it here. It's probably going to tell me I need to get to my phone again. I don't know where that brought me. 60% off or more. They want to show me what's in my wish list / checkout. But I don't know that this is any discount here. That one doesn't make sense. Anyways, I think I can end it here. One thing to note is everything is coming from China. When you track your packages, you can see them leave China, arrive, go through customs, get their customs paperwork, and when they arrive, I'm on the East Coast, so they're going to a place in New Jersey where they come in from the airplane that they shipped over on, or the boat. I think they're bringing them on airplanes. And then their crew in the New Jersey facility repackages them into their orange plastic bag. There's so much plastic going on here. Fortunately, my local Walmart does take plastic bags and bubble wrap and all that for recycling. But Amazon's been trying to move more and more to paper that can be recycled, although that's not good for the trees, but use recycled paper. Whereas Temu's gone in the other direction, and it's like plastic. There's so much plastic going on here. But they repackage it in New Jersey or whatever facility is where they're going to do this, and then send it to you through various shipping means. The stuff's coming in good quality. Not having any problem. Very few things get damaged. Really, the ones that get damaged are the ones in the unboxing I showed. But this stuff is coming from China. TEMU is located in Boston, but it's not actually a U.S. company. Somebody else has a video. If I can find their video, I'll put their link in the bottom. But it's a holding company out of the Cayman Islands that owns TEMU and one other company. Sometimes when you're following it, it looks like they're headquartered in Ireland, of all places. But I guess from this other guy who seems to know more about this thing, he purchases a ton of stuff through China directly because he uses this wholesale stuff to stock his own shops and so on. But he says it's in the Cayman Islands, I think Cayman, one of the Caribbean islands, as a holding company, and the other company they own is in China. And his video is pretty revealing. There's a lot of concern about whether your information's going to get sold off by TEMU to other people for marketing. Frankly, I think that's already happened. Everybody's information has already been sold. It's too late. That's why I've got 12 orders knowing that. I'm like, it's already been done. Amazon probably did it. Michael's Crafts probably did it. Kohl's probably did it. Target, Walmart, and the various many other places I buy stuff have probably already taken my purchase information and shared it. They all do it. It's too late. And but I am very concerned about why when I leave the TEMU app open on my cell phone, which they keep trying to get me to go to the phone to open these, things that look like I won a lottery, is that part of the strategy. So keep those apps shut when you're not looking at TEMU there. And I would direct you to try to use your browser and set up your browser to clear cookies and cache and stuff for the TEMU website. I'm sure there are tutorials that somebody did on how to do that, but if you need me to show you how to do it, I'll make a video on that. But I don't know. I don't think there's a reason to not buy from them. I don't, at this point, unless something shows up in the news, I don't think that anything they're doing is going to be terribly different than what all the other companies do. And we have to buy stuff. I mean, because, well, we don't need to buy lots of stuff, but we do need certain essentials. Like we need to buy our food and, pay for our utilities and things like that, and have some clothing on us, but and those things probably have already resulted in us having our information out there. Do make sure your credit stuff is all locked down, as ours is, so you can hopefully prevent fraud of other kinds, but just be safe. There's a lot of videos out there where people are showing you how to protect yourself, but I don't know. Again, I have mixed feelings about TEMU, and mostly it's because they keep trying to push me to my phone to interact with their purchasing process, and I just find that uncomfortable. I'm finding that I'm buying things that I like. They're good quality. I'm buying them too frequently. I'm having very mixed feelings about it, so and I'm finding that things they tell me are offers, if I just wait, then they'll offer it again. There's no emergency, there's no rush, there's nothing I'm going to miss out on that I may just purchase, but don't think I need to worry about missing out on anything, and I would rather do it through the website. So that's my 2 cents. I'm sure there's more that as time goes on I could add, or when I end this video I'll go, oh, I forgot to tell you guys that. That was another thought, but I think I'm at a very long video at this point. So if you've watched all the way to the end, thank you so much. I'd love to hear your comments, and let me know what you want me to demonstrate in a craft video, because I'd like to get back to doing craft videos here. I don't know how many unboxings I'll do. This was quite a tedious experience, but there you have it. Thanks very much. Hit the like button just to say thanks for my effort, and subscribe so I can let you know when I post other content, tutorials and such. And thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.